Wednesday as well, with a high of 85 to 87. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Lauren Carr, College of Central Florida Corporate College, will be Tom's guest on Wednesday, September 29th at 10:30 a.m., discussing higher education happenings. She will share how employers can support their team members through customized training that benefits their company, and also affordable training programs on everything from Excel to leadership training. Again, that's September 29th at 10:30 a.m. The College of Central Florida and your friends here at WOCA The Source provide this information to let you know what's happening at the College of Central Florida. This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Monday, 622-9622 is the number to call to get involved with the show. You can also email me at tom@woca.com. If you heard the national updates over the last hour or so, Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas said yesterday on the Talking Heads shows on TV that as many as 12,000 Haitian migrants have made their way into the U.S. And have been released, and that made their way to the U.S.-Mexican border, have been released into the United States. Yesterday on Fox News Sunday, Mayorkas said that approximately 10,000 to 12,000 migrants detained in Del Rio, Texas in recent weeks have now been released into the U.S. Another 3,000 remain in detention, and another 5,000 are being processed. Mayorkas told Fox News Sunday the number of migrants released into the United States and returned to Haiti could both be even higher as their cases are processed. Speaking of the approximately 12,000 migrants released into the country, Mayorkas said the individuals placed in the immigration court proceedings go before a judge where they make claims of asylum or other claims to remain in the United States and are permitted to remain or remove based on the judge's ruling. So already the Biden administration says, don't blame us. We're just doing what a judge told us to do. He added the United States has enforcement guidelines in place to ensure that people who have recently crossed the border do not show up for their hearings are removed from the country. Okay, so they recently crossed the border and they don't show up for their meetings, so you remove them from the country. Where are they? How do you find them? If they didn't show up for their hearing, chances are they're not just going to walk into an ICE agency or a police department and say, "Hey, I'm the guy that didn't show up for my hearing because I'm an illegal immigrant in this country. I was let in the country, but I was supposed to show up for a hearing. So because I didn't, that makes me an illegal immigrant, and so I'm turning myself in." Yeah, because that's going to happen a lot. Sure. Once you let them into the vast country of the United States and let them start living a different life than they're used to in the United States, and they miss a hearing, they're going to just go turn themselves, sorry, I missed that hearing. Go ahead and throw me out of the country now for missing a hearing. Yeah, that's going to work. Said no one with half a brain ever. The fact that they let them it's in our intention to remove them, according to him, that's what our policy is. We deploy our enforcement resources according to certain priorities to ensure the safety and security of the American people. How about this? How about not let them in? How about this? There are 237 other countries worldwide. Why don't they take them in? Tom, bring your. I know what it says. I know about the melting pot of the country. I also know people are doing it the legal way and coming in all the time. Why are we bending over backwards to help people that want to come across the border illegally? And now they're taking the word alien out. They're calling them immigrants. They're not even going to call them illegal aliens now. They want to take that alien out because that's an offensive term. To who? Marvin Martian? Who the hell is offended by being called an illegal alien? Marvin Martian? The guy that, what's his name? Ray Ray, I forget his last name, played My Favorite Martian. Is he upset? He upset? Is that who we're upsetting with using the word alien? Ray Walston was the guy that played My Favorite Martian. I don't understand what's going on, but I do understand that they let at least 12,000 Haitians, and the Homeland Security Secretary said it could be even more. They let at least 12,000 Haitians in. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Have all these Haitians been cleared of COVID-19? Do we know exactly where they're going? So we can go find them if they don't come to these hearings? I mean, Del Rio, Texas Mayor Bruno Lorenzo confirmed that 2 flights transported the first group of migrants back to Haiti. So there were some that were returned to Haiti. But Mayorkas said Friday is this morning there are no longer any migrants at the camp underneath the Del Rio International Bridge. One time there were 15,000 migrants, primarily Haitian, under the bridge. Why aren't we going to Haiti and sending our FEMA type people and all into Haiti to help them rebuild instead of just letting people leave and come over here? I mean, I know that, there's a president was recently assassinated and all, but it's not our responsibility to take care of the Haitian people. Hell, we have a homeless problem right here in our town. We can barely take care of that problem. How the hell are we going to take care of Haitian people that have no homes, that come here, cross the border? Who knows what kind of disease they're bringing with them? Are we testing them for everything? Do we know they don't have the Delta variant before we release them into the public population? I don't think so. 12,000, at least 12,000 Haitians have been released into the United States. They showed up a 3 weeks ago and they've already been released into the United States. How much background check was done in 2 to 3 weeks? This is a problem. Just to get people into the country, just to say we're doing the right thing is not the right thing. And isn't Vice President Harris supposed to be down there at the border handling this? Isn't she the border czar? Where the hell is she? Where's she during all of this? I just don't understand how we're or what means we're allowing people into the country. Well, you're Haitian. Oh, well, you just had a 7.2 earthquake, and your president was assassinated. Yeah, sure, come on in. Okay, I understand the tragedy of the earthquake, the president's assassination. I didn't really get into that. I haven't looked a whole lot into why that happened. But I understand that 7.2 earthquake. Well, we can't take everybody in just because there was an earthquake in their country. And it sounds like they did this just so they could say, hey, the Del Rio International Bridge, we got all the migrants off of it. Most of them were Haitian. You got 15,000. They're no longer there. Look, we're doing a good job. They're no longer under that bridge. All right, we made sure that those migrants got out from under that bridge like they should be. And sent them where? Whose community is now possibly unsafe because of the elements you let into the country without doing much of a background check on them? Of course, the administration is saying, that's not right. We got enforcement guidelines to ensure that people have recently crossed the border. We know where they are. And besides, we didn't make the decision as the Biden administration. They go through a court proceeding before a judge where they can make claim of asylum or other claims and are permitted to remain or remove based on the judge's ruling, not ours. We're just following the judge's guidelines. Don't hold us responsible for all these immigrants pouring over the border. A judge said let them in. we'll make a determination whether they should be returned to Haiti based on our own public health and public interest authorities. Yeah. How's that working out? 12,000 of them got through. I'm sorry. To just show up at the Mexican border and 3 weeks later be allowed 12,000 large to be allowed in the country? That stinks to high heaven, folks. There's no way you can process 12,000 people down in that manure show and know for certain that the 12,000 you release into the American population are safe for the American population. You just can't do it. Don't tell it to the Biden administration. They do whatever the hell they want, when they want, and how they want. Be damned the safety of